Hi, I'm Curtis Parody, and welcome to Now, the show about some of the most interesting news happening in the world right now. Happy Monday, everyone. It's a crazy, awesome day today because, well, Apple kicked off its annual week-long developer conference with an awesome keynote. Well, I don't think awesome is like the right word. Like, it's super amazing. Like, I almost passed out like twice. All right, let's jump right into this special WWDC episode of Now. Starting it all off, let's talk about hardware because Apple introduced two new Macbook Airs today. The models look similar to the previous versions, but hey, they did get some upgraded internals. New processors allow the new MacBook Airs to get a staggeringly large amount of battery life. The new 11-inch model now gets 9 hours of battery life, and the 13, well, it goes for a grand total of 12 hours. Which is some crazy freaking long battery life. Keep in mind though that these are Apple's numbers and not actual tester numbers, so of course until people actually get their hands on it, we can't really know for sure. The new MacBook Airs also have a new Wi-Fi system on board, the 802.11ac Wi-Fi standard that actually allows these devices to get a faster internet connection. Apple also introduced a new Wi-Fi base station to, of course, deliver that Wi-Fi. So they started off a little slow, but next they blew everyone right away. After that, they moved on to the Macbook Pro and what many would consider to be the powerhouse of the Mac family. And after many, many years of waiting for Apple to actually update this, today they gave us a little sneak peek as to what it could be.
Can't innovate anymore, my ass.
And that, my friends, is how Phil Schiller introduces a brand new product. Okay, let's run over some of the specs of this interesting looking new device. But before we jump into the specs, this new look, it's unlike anything I've seen before for a computer. When you see this, you're like, that's just is that a computer? It's wow. So yeah, Apple fit a computer inside of that thing somehow. I have no idea how, but they did. Anyway, the new MacBook Pro has dual graphics cards inside of it for faster graphics and new flash storage to ensure that your data is accessible at a super fast rate. Also, of course, it has 6 new Thunderbolt 2.0 ports. That kind of helps too. These ports can now transfer data twice as fast as the old Thunderbolt standard. They can now transfer it at 20 gigabits per second. That's crazy fast. Just to let you know, USB 3.0 is 5 gigabits per second, so this thing is Along with that, the new MacBook Pro also supports 4K displays, so of course, if you have one of those high-res displays, this thing will work with it. Or, if Apple rolls out a Retina display for the desktop in the future, that will also work. Though they didn't announce that today, but hey, it kind of makes sense. The new desktop machine can also have up to 12 cores inside of it, arranged around a cylindrical airflow area to actually allow the middle of the device to act as a cooling thing, which is really freaking cool. It also packs 4 USB 3.0 ports if you want to use those, gigabit Ethernet, and of course it has HDMI out. One thing you'll notice that's not included on this new computer is a disk drive, but really is that so much of a surprise because Apple's kind of been moving away from the disk drive for a long time. And if you're a Pro user, you'll just go out and get a disk drive separately and boom, plug it in, you're good to go. So besides all that, the new MacBook Pro will actually be built in the US, which is nice, I guess. I really could care less, but hey, it's awesome. It's built in the US. That's really nice. And if you're interested in picking one of these things up for yourself, well, you'll have to wait until the fall. Sorry about that. It's not available right now. So that's all Apple announced for hardware. No news on new iPads or iPhones, but I kind of figured that going into this. Those will come out later in the year. So now let's jump into the software side of all this because that's really where this whole event is playing towards. Starting on the desktop here, Apple announced its next generation desktop operating system called OS X Mavericks. Supposedly named after a town in California or something because they ran out of cat names. which is kind of sad because I like cats. Mavericks includes a new iBooks app and a Maps app built right into the operating system, though I don't think people really gave a crap that like iOS maps are now on the desktop because, like, let's face it, Google is king of maps. Like, they're done. They got the hill, they own it. Don't even try climbing that thing. Though one really cool thing that they did show off is you can like plan out your route on the desktop, then you can be like send to phone, and then it's on your iPhone and you're like, oh sweet, now I know where to go. So there's that. The calendar app also dropped the fake leather, and in a quote from the guy actually presenting, even though there are no stitches in this calendar app, it still stays right there on your desktop. One of the many jabs at the past design team because, of course, you know, they're no longer working at Apple. Mavericks also includes a new Icloud Keychain, which is really cool. It stores all of your passwords and your credit card information so that, you know, it's easier for you to like log into stuff and buy stuff online, though it doesn't keep your security code for your like credit cards, so you still have to know that. So it's secure, you know, it's like you gotta know that stuff. An interesting thing though that I'm happy to see is the multi-display support. You can have multiple like spaces on multiple displays, which is a little confusing, but you can have a full screen app on one display, and no longer does the other display just become this felt thing that looked really ugly. You can have like a desktop and a full app, or you can have two full apps, or you can have like an app and then a bunch of, there's a lot more possibilities here, everyone. Oh, and also if you have an Apple TV box, yeah, that's also now a display. You can just use that however you want. Notifications also got a small tweak here. You can actually respond to someone's message like right in the notification, which is really kind of cool. And I would assume it's probably coming to iOS in some form. Other than that, there are new tabs for Finder. Also, there are tags for files, so those two kind of things work hand in hand. This new version of OS X will come out later this year in the fall if you're interested. All right, now into the big thing, the big show of the day, iOS 7, the next new amazing version of Apple's mobile operating system. And to say it got a little tweak today, well, that would be a serious understatement. This is iOS 7, a radical new change for the operating system, and its biggest change since it was created in 2007 for the original iPhone. It has a super clean new UI, and yet at the same time, it adds some super awesome new features that people are going to absolutely love, starting with, of course, Control Center. Just swipe up from the bottom of your display and get access to some quick settings, from display brightness, iTunes song information, and even a flashlight. It's simple and easy, and hey, it's accessible at any time, anywhere on the OS. Multitasking got a whole new look here. Just double tap the home button and you get this beautiful, like, big app window sort of layout. You can swipe side to side, and hey, if you're done with an app, just swipe it up and throw it away. iTunes Radio is a brand new feature allowing you to listen to music on the go for free. Just stream it over Wi-Fi or wireless data. iTunes Radio will only work in the US for right now, and it is ad-supported unless you buy a subscription to iTunes Match. Many of the core apps got updated too, like Photos, which now intelligently groups your photos based on like events, locations, and other stuff into something Apple is calling a collection. You can also share photos with other iOS users by using AirDrop, which is really freaking cool. As long as you're connected to the same Wi-Fi network, you can easily send a file from one device to another. The camera app just got a whole lot easier to use. You can now swipe between video mode, photo mode, and panorama mode. Safari is updated to ensure that your content you want to see on the web page is easier to see than ever before with the modern UI, and also when you start like scrolling, the UI just disappears. It's really nice. You can also slide from the left side to actually go back or forward. It's really freaking cool. And hey, Siri also got a very simple makeover here. All the clutter is gone, and it's just been easier to talk to Siri. Also, Siri is now both a guy's voice and a girl's voice. The weather app got a major update here, bringing in some awesome motion graphics for like the weather in the background. And hey, messages got a little bit fun with some bubble-like interface. iOS 7 is a huge change for Apple here, something that's totally different, but signals a move to a more simplistic way of doing things. iOS 7 will be available this fall, but hey, if you're a developer and you pay like the $90 a year to like be a developer that's part of Apple, you get a free copy of this OS like today. You can just go to like the developer website and download it there and install it, though keeping in mind, of course, it's like beta software, and if it crashes, it crashes. That's just how it really works. So there you go. I'm not gonna lie, definitely already paid the $90 that I need to get the operating system first. So that's all the awesome Apple news for the day, but I do have one question for all of you. What announcements were you most interested in that happened today at WWDC? Let me know in the comment section down below, or you can always let me know on my Facebook page, through Twitter, or on Google+. Links to all those really cool type things in the description down below. And hey, if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more Great Now content every single day of the week. So until tomorrow, I'm Curtis Parody, and that's what's happening now. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. You can of course check out more videos that I create by clicking on them below. Check out Now for the latest news happening in the world right now, Paradise Gaming for some fun gameplay videos, or of course my personal vlog channel to see what I'm doing outside of my studio. Also, if you're interested in supporting the show and getting some new clothes for yourself, just like this shirt, you can pick up this one if you want. Check out the store at thecurtisparodystore.ca. Bye everyone.